I'm Mr. Kangas, and today we're going to take a look at Chapter 10, Section 6, Area, and in particular today we're going to be taking a look at the area of a triangle. The area formula for a triangle is 1/2 times the base of the triangle times the height. What you should notice that looks familiar about this formula is it includes base times height, which we discussed in previous videos is actually the area formula for a rectangle or square. It's also the area formula for a parallelogram. So if you read this formula correctly, you're multiplying the area of a square or rectangle by 1/2. And when you multiply 1/2, it cuts that item in half. So for example, if I multiply 10 by 1/2, I get 5. If I multiply 8 by 1/2, I get 4. 6 by 1/2, I get 3. So what this is doing is it's finding the area of half of a rectangle or square. And that's because every triangle is actually half of a rectangle or square. So you can take any triangle in the world, if you copy it, like I did here, I made 2 copies of this triangle, okay? You can copy that triangle, so you can double its size, piece them together, and you can always create a rectangle or square. So the original triangle right here represents half the area of this rectangle. And what you're going to notice is the base of my triangle, of my original triangle, and the height of my original triangle are the same as the base and height of a rectangle, of the rectangle that's created. So finding half the area of a rectangle that has the same base and height as your triangle. And this works with any type of triangle, whether they're isosceles, whether they are right triangles, whether they're equilateral, any kind of triangle, scalene, any type of triangle out there. You can copy it, and then you can piece the 2 copies together, and you'll either form a rectangle or a square, and sometimes you can even form a parallelogram with your 2 triangles, which again, parallelograms also work off the base times height principle for their formulas. So that is area of a triangle. Plain and simple, it's 1/2 times base times height. Remember, height of the triangle is always the distance from the very bottom of the triangle to the very top. So if I were to orient my triangle or rotate my triangle so that it were sitting like this, my base would be right here, and my height would actually be the distance from right here all the way to the very tippy top. The height is actually it's a perpendicular line that goes from the very bottom of the figure to the very top. So the height of my triangle in this instance would be right here. Would be that line right there. So from the very bottom to the very top in a perpendicular line. Now some triangles you want to be careful of when you're finding height, because some triangles are shaped a little oddly. You might see something that looks like this. Okay, now this is a triangle. Now if you want to find the height, what you actually have to do is you have to extend an imaginary line out here so that you can find the height. Because like we said, the height is the perpendicular distance from the bottom to the top. And perpendicular means it is completely straight. So when I draw my height to touch the top, what ends up happening is if I drew, I should have a right angle here and a right angle there. I'm drawing a perfectly straight line. So my height would actually be the distance from my imaginary baseline here all the way to the tip-top point there. So again, you have to draw a perpendicular line from the bottom to the top. Now, as far as your worksheets go, you don't really need to worry about that. You're either going to be given the height as a number, or if you see a triangle like this, they will have a little dotted line going down like that, and they will tell you that the height is 3, for example. So you won't actually need to do that measurement out yourself. I just thought that's something you would want. I just thought that was something that's important to point out, that height is the distance from the bottom to the top of the triangle. So that's really all there is to area of triangles. If you have any questions, let me know. Pause the video, whatever it is you need to do. Just let me know, please.